But that's the seeming state of play as those votes started to be counted across the country. Right, let's cross now to Barcelona, and we can talk to Daniel Cetrà, a senior researcher at the University of Barcelona. Thank you so much for coming on the programme.
Thank you for having me.
So it seems like things have gone in line with predictions so far, which is that none of the two major parties will have enough votes to govern on their own.
Absolutely. So Spain seems to be moving to the right, and the main issue remains whether or not the PP will obtain an absolute majority. There have been two opinion polls released in the last few minutes. One by the public television channels in Spain suggests that the PP will not obtain an absolute majority. The other one by a private entity, Mediaset, suggests that the PP will obtain an absolute majority on its own, and so it would not have to form a coalition government with Vox.
And that's the crucial thing, isn't it? And that's formed a big part of this campaign on the left, saying a vote for PP, that conservative centre-right party, is effectively a vote for the far-right party. And the centre-right have been campaigning on, well, change, and it's time to get rid of the left.
Exactly. It's been a very polarized campaign. We have a very polarized party system. There's no vote transfer between the right-wing bloc and the left-wing bloc. So much depends on mobilization, on the blocs being able to convince their voters to turn up and vote. And the right seems to have been more active or more successful at this, given the polls and given what we've seen so far. And indeed, the major concern for many Spaniards is that this party, Vox, which combines elements of the new far right, like nativism, so this position against immigration, especially coming from North Africa, with elements that are typical of national Catholicism in Spain. So a strong emphasis on Spanish nationalism, Spanish unity, completely against the women's rights, completely against the use of languages other than Castilian and so on. Many people, many citizens are concerned that this party, which is likely to lose seats in this election, nonetheless will have the possibility perhaps to join the government. Having said that, the party already joined regional governments in Valencia and the Balearic Islands 2 months ago after the regional elections, and they've already shown what they are capable of. So they have dismantled the ministries for the environment, they have dismantled ministries for the protection of the Catalan language across these territories, and they have also reframed the scope and the language used to protect gender violence. So in this case, they call it domestic violence. And these are the kind of measures that they defend.
I just want to jump in there because you listed that long list there of domestic policies that they have already enacted at a local, regional level. But just talk to us very briefly, if you can, about the history. Why is this significant when you look back at Spain's history? Things like, of course, I'm thinking of General Franco.
It's very significant because after the 1978 constitution, there has been a constitutional consensus across statewide parties in Spain. So all of them define themselves as constitucionalistas. They align with the precepts of the Spanish constitution. Of course, this is different for Basque and Catalan nationalist parties who would like to become independent or obtain more self-government and so on. The thing about Vox is that it's not a constitutionalist party. It's a party that defends positions that are anti-constitutional. For example, re-centralizing Spain, that's against the constitution, which entrenches the possibility of political autonomy. For example, making languages other than Castilian illegal are not co-official. These are the kind of measures that they are defending. So this is astonishing, this is new, this is unprecedented since 1978, since the advent of democracy after almost 40 years of Franco's dictatorship. We have a party that openly defends those ideas and that, again, it may lose support in this election in comparison to 2019, but paradoxically, it may join a coalition government with the PP.
Well, that is a really interesting paradox. We will wait and see. Thank you very much for that and for putting it all in a bit of historical context for us.